Hello, good afternoon, good afternoon. How are you doing today? It's True Blue Tide here from Thailand. Hope you're doing very well. For instance, it's a 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you must have, excuse me, because quite honestly, for instance, it may be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You think, why are you doing these videos this time? Because quite honestly, for instance, again, when I get up to watch Manchester City on Champions League matches, it's 3 a.m. in the morning when we're watching the game. I don't go to bed until about 5 o'clock in the evening, in the morning, etc. For instance, then don't wake up long after that, etc. Because I like to make the most of the day. So yeah, so for instance, so I do apologise. So the cap, etc. For instance, welcome to Thailand. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, for instance, I'm a Manchester City fan, living in Thailand last 3 years, and love my club. And yeah, and for instance, I like to talk about Man City, and yeah, and so so let's talk about Man City, and let's talk about the game. So, for instance, we've watched Manchester City, the good, the bad, the ugly. For instance, if I could say, on Man City's win, lost, defeat, not defeat. Well, it feels like a defeat. The 3-3 at against Feyenoord. So this Dutch side, for instance, with all its issues and problems and everything. So I'll just move the camera a little bit. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so but and it's kind of like, honestly, for instance, I think when that third goal went in for Feyenoord, etc., I was gutted, to say the least. I just could not believe it. For instance, the problem is it's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's dark. Everybody's asleep. For instance, get up very early here, 6 o'clock. It's I live in a Thai area, for instance, and it can be quite, for instance. So you got to suffer in silence, as it were. And I. I grabbed my water bottle and I kind of shook it a little bit and just said, because you could not make it up. All you're going to see is pictures on the media, which I'm sure we've seen it already. I'm sure people have seen it already. It's Pep with his hands like that, and for instance, for instance, Pep in his hands like that, and with scratches on his face and his head, etc., which did not look good. I'm sure his wife is on the phone going, "What the hell are you doing?" And he scratched his nose and he scratched his head, etc. For instance, but I suppose, for instance, if I was Pep Guardiola right now, I would probably be doing the same thing, because the defensive mistakes in this was inexcusable. It really was. For instance, the third goal, for instance, for Feyenoord, the defensive lineup was what? Where has it gone? And yeah, so for instance, anyway. But let's go back to the beginning. For instance, again, for instance, I was quite bullish about yesterday. For instance, pure and simple is because we had our main man back. For instance, not Rodri, but Diaz. Sorry, immediate defence. And for instance, so Doku, for instance, but Diaz, I thought great, because what we need, leaders on the pitch, leaders, our leaders back, and we don't have De Bruyne, we didn't have Rodri, and we don't have for instance, and we don't have what's his name, Diaz. So Ruben on the pitch, and the people like him, they don't realise how the spine of the team, the joist, of your of your foundations of your building. They're the mainstays. The guys, for instance, especially Ruben, doesn't get the applause to what she gets. And for instance, but he's the one, for instance, which to me, in my mind, and to a lot of City fans, should be captain. It's a bit breezy today, for instance, yeah. So but it's an absolute shock, for instance, of him not being captain, while the team has voted Carol Walker as captain. For instance, he's a good player, well, a good guy, what's it called, but I don't know why. But again, it's up to the players. They must see something I don't. But I think, for instance, when you have somebody like Ruben Diaz in your side, etc. For instance, you especially in your defensive area. For instance, what's it called, for instance, it's is an important part. So when I saw him on trainings, I thought, right, we'll have him back, and I put him in my lineup of who was going to start. And only to find out, for instance, he never started, and it was a Kanji who's got an injury, I still believe, and Aki, for instance, who's probably not 100% either. Lewis started also, for instance, which I think he's played far too many games, and he's only a young lad. He's supposed to be a transitional player to come into the team like Phil Foden, etc. For instance, but he was started again. I was thinking, why are you starting Enrico Lewis, which I don't understand. I know it was important that we need our strength, depth, etc. But for instance, I thought we could have ported Diaz somewhere in the squad, but maybe he's not fully fit. But again, for instance, and probably saving him from Liverpool. But the most important game right now is the next one, and the next one must go the next one, which is getting these 3 points and not making our lives difficult for ourselves, which we now have done so. So I don't know what the story was, why we didn't play Diaz, why he never came in, even for 15 minutes towards the end of the game. That would have that I do not think for 1 second, etc. If Diaz was in the squad, we would have conceded those last those goals, or at least 3 goals. I just don't think so, because his organisational skills of defence. And I think that's what he's lacking, because they don't know who was controlling defenders. Because when Aki went off, etc., for instance, we had Simpson, Pussy. No, I'm not complaining about him. We had, for instance, Guardiola, for instance, who's gone a bit of a sticky patch, and we had, for instance, um, yeah, Simpson, Pussy, Aki, and Akanji, for instance. So I really didn't. So I was like, and then yeah. So for instance, I didn't know what the hell was going on, to tell you the truth. So with City, for instance, and what we were doing. Excuse me if you heard some noise. I'm outside. A bit windy out here. The neighbour next door, she's washing some clothes. Uh, People riding around motorbikes so quick, crazy again as per usual in Thailand. So for instance, mentioned it more than one occasion. Anyway, so for instance, but in the first what 30, 40, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, I thought, playing. I thought overall it was a strong squad. I thought it was needed to play a strong squad. It was nice to see Jack Grealish getting a start. I was very happy. For instance, I thought Bernardo should have been. I'd nice to see Sabio getting a rest. So I didn't mind Bernardo too much in, because for his experience, more than anything else. But I thought overall the team looked okay, especially when we had players to change it on the bench. So yeah, but for instance, and I thought the first what was it, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, etc. We had 80% of the play. Haaland missed a good chance. For instance, where the off the post, etc. The goalkeeper just got the ball to swipe it away. For instance, I thought great. Okay, we're looking good. For instance, they're suffering from their injury issues, um, uh, uh, like us basically. For instance, but having a slapped up squad. But I thought overall, for instance, we're not doing too bad. So, for instance, and it was okay. And then we got a penalty for the handball. I thought, great, 1-0 up, half time, good. So, for instance, it's not perfect. Yeah, I thought, for instance, it was important that we get that goal. But also, for instance, we did allow them in, but again, with the highline match that he played and the way teams attack against us, we're going to get that. But I thought we were pretty comfortable, for instance, throughout the game. And I thought we weren't giving them too many issues. So they weren't giving us too many issues. For instance, so and I thought with any team that's going to score a second goal would be Man City. And I thought if we can get an early goal, because I was talking to a friend of mine in Denmark, he's also awake, he's also up at 3 o'clock. For instance, 3 a.m. in the morning. So for instance, he was chatting through half time, thinking I thought get another early goal. For instance, that will do us. And then a couple of early goals from Pin for Kai. And guess what we did? That's what we did. Came out, for instance, and we came out and when, for instance, Gundogan, yes, he got deflected. Great to see Gundogan on the pitch. I thought he played well. I thought his ball through to Nunes for the third goal, etc., was excellent. For instance, and I thought, and he looked one of his best games so far for City. And so I was really, really pleased. So, for instance, and we got the third goal with Haaland, and Haaland's got a smile on his face. The players have got a smile on their face. For instance, I thought if get one more 4-0, that really does. But I'd be happy with 3. For instance, yeah, clean sheet, boom, and everything was going smoothly. Really, to tell the truth, again, for instance, They had a few little attacks, but they weren't showing anything. More likely, they were going to concede more than anything else. And then they changed it. They brought in a few subs, changed it around. City brought on Simpson Pusic and McAtee and De Bruyne and took off Foden, Aki, and who else would take off? Foden, Aki. Who else went off? Sorry, I do apologise. Yeah, Foden, Aki. I'll remember it in a minute. For instance, and I thought, for instance, overall, was it Lewis? No. Foden, Aki. Okay. Anyway, I'll remember it in a second. So, but yeah, so for instance, no, I thought, yeah, Nathan Aki, Gundogan, to apologise. So, for instance, yeah, and I thought, okay, fine, 3-0 up, we should be able to see the game out there. The last 20 minutes, there you go. So of course, then we were kind of like messing around with it too much in our back line. But as long as we can back line, but as long as we can control it, for instance, and we just pass it along the seas like City we always do. I always trust Eddie with the ball in his feet. And for instance, there was wayward pass. They were pressing high. They needed to get something from the game. Brought all these fans. They were all in Manchester. For instance, causing a bit of trouble as well in the ground. For instance, it was a good crowd for the Champions League, considering you have to pay extra for your tickets. So, for instance, especially on a Tuesday night before Christmas. So, for instance, and I thought, well, and it's yeah, for instance, in a good atmosphere. But yeah, and and then they were attacking towards the fans, and we scored Guardiola, for instance, just this looping ball up towards Eddie. For instance, no way Eddie was going to get the ball. For instance, and anyway, so for instance, and he was guy picked it, went round Eddie, for instance, and made it 3-1. And you think, oh, okay, all right, okay, 3-1. Not happy about it. I'm not. For instance, I wanted a clean sheet. For instance, Eddie's not going to be happy about it. For instance, and it was a ridiculous mistake. Okay, we can see it through. For instance, we only got this, short amount of time. For instance, and like for instance, yeah, because that was on the 74th minute was when they scored. We should be able to see it through. And then, for instance, less than 10 minutes from from goal, from full time. Again, they pressed again high. For instance, another defensive mistake. For instance, and the ball. I thought it was Eddie was unlucky. He was guarding his front post, and for instance, and the ball just got past him and just went across the ball, and somebody put and what's it called San Diego put it in the back of the net, for instance, to make it 2-1, 3-2, sorry. And yeah, for instance, and I'm like, oh no, you're joking. We can't throw it out from here. Even at 3-2, I was gutted. I was really upset with God, but I thought, we can make it 4-2. For instance, we had Kevin De Bruyne on now. Ireland wants his hat trick. I thought, at least we're not going to concede again. And for instance, on the 89th minute, for instance, yeah, I know we had 5 minutes at a time, but in the 89th minute, boom, again, our back line was so high up, so there was a picture of it, and they were just so skewed up. You see teams going down, for instance, team in the relegation, and you see their back lines everywhere. There was no line. There was a Wheatley Road, for instance, of a line, and for instance, and of course, yeah, and it was horrendous, and I thought, oh no, I can't believe it, and again, for instance, it was just ridiculous. For instance, it really was another mistake by Josko, for instance, and it was just overall, yeah, I was just absolutely gutted. It really is a sickener, and so I don't know what was worse, losing 4-0 to Spurs, which I can't stand after United and Liverpool, for instance, I can't stand Spurs, or losing 3-3 or drawing 3-3 against Feyenoord after 3-0 up and being such a commanding, being such commanding. Oh, the chickens are out. Time of the day. You're running a bit late. Anyway, so for instance, So yeah, I was absolutely gutted to say the least. Gutted, 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 and yeah, and and yeah, I can understand why Pep was doing what he did with his hands, etc. For instance, and it just it really, really, really was a sickening thing. You know, I mean, if you look at the stats, you know, for instance, again, for instance, City, there was no way, you know, with 64% possession compared to them. We had 9 shots on target compared to their 5. 4 and 4 off target, for instance, went to. I know they're a decent side. I know that, for instance, they're doing this. They've only lost one in the year ODBC. I know a lot of their games come, for instance, like the Champions League games come from the what's it called from away from final from Holland, Netherlands. So, for instance, I noticed but again, you've 3 up. For instance, we should have actually seen it through, and give up to Timber, give up to Pacquiao, Igor, whatever. For instance, I did point them out. What's called in my previous video, for instance, of them being the top scorers and assisters. So, for instance, I thought, yeah, but it really beggars belief for me. I'm watching that game yesterday, for instance, that second half. It really was, and it really is. And to see the players full time, the reaction of what with their faces, I thought the whole thing was just terrible. It really was. It just, you know, and then it doesn't. And now we got to go to Anfield. I think if there's too much thinking about Anfield, too much. I think, you know, and then we should need to stop. And too many fans are saying, you know, talk about Anfield too much and whatever. And yes, the Premier League title could be over by Anfield, but you know, you never know. For instance, again, this is the Premier League. Liverpool could go. You know, they've got Real Madrid tonight. Liverpool. They could, for instance, they're not playing absolutely fantastic. I know we've got a shocking record at Anfield, but must go. But you never know. For instance, if you keep it tight at Anfield, keep it defensive tight. We're not going to go gun ho. We're not going to go racing up the Anfield, etc. For instance, hopefully, and if we play Diaz, Diaz has got to start. De Bruyne has got to start. For instance, there's always a chance. You know, and I've seen United going to Anfield and they're playing the way they played, etc. Thinking they're going to get stuffed, for instance, and they ended not, you know, not happening. Just because it's on paper doesn't mean that it's going to happen. But no, I just think for me right now, for instance, the players, it really not the confidence out of the players because I thought the players were getting were good confident. I thought we were we deserved the win basically overall. For instance, and we should have actually scored more goals. Jack would have got his goal. Hurling scored a goal. Kevin had a shot. What's it called? But I just don't think I just don't understand what's it called where the who was leading the defence what's it called towards the end. We should have seen it through. Been down here so many times. We know how to see games out. But again, for instance, it's the I think it's the when we concede, the fragility of the team comes into it. The mentality of these players now come into it now, and I think that's what happens is the mentality now to see a game through, and that is where a captain, for instance, like Diaz, etc., for instance, would say we should have not. Why are we doing bombing forward 3-2, less than 5 minutes to go? You know, and what's the point? You know, I mean, my God, let's just see out the game, give him the possession, and what's it called? Let's all drop back, and just see out the game. We don't need to go gun ho. And yeah, absolutely, I was just gutted. I really was. And I do think it's a mentality issue now, really more than anything else, with the players, and because the effort is there. We scored the goal. We scored 3 goals yesterday. But for instance, and again, for instance, and the mistakes were mistakes what we did. It's not through. I don't. Yes, you could say a final repressing. Yes, you could say final. You've got to be there to create the mistakes. But for instance, if we didn't make those mistakes, it wouldn't have been a 3-3 game. I just don't think so. I just feel, for instance, we created our own downfall. We created our own mistakes. So, for instance, and again, it's the fragility of the mentality of the players, where, for instance, we need what's it called, a CDM, for instance, who can, a captain. Yes, was it wrong to take Gundogan off? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. For instance, he was having his best play. He needs a rest because he wasn't supposed to come to play all these games. for instance, and yeah. But no, yeah, just gutted, and yeah, the defensive high line was shocking, especially on that third goal, and the defensive mistakes and the Guardiola's mistakes. But Guardiola. I'm not actually having a go at him. I don't think, for instance, he's played every single game. He's been absolutely fantastic. He's been one of our mainstays, one of our best defenders by far this season. He scored a few important goals for us. So, and he's played a lot of games. He hasn't had any rest. So, for instance, and again, for instance, but the problem is with the injuries, we can't rest him. And so, yeah. But I don't know. Mm, So, you just, take off Guardiola and put on Walker. I don't know. I don't know. For instance, yeah, but we could have done something as well, But and we can understand why Pep brought on McAtee. I wanted him to have a good game. He had a quick shot, which goalkeeper saved, but also I saw him pulling back the goalkeeper, which was not good. I saw him give away the ball, for instance, which was not good. But then again, he hasn't played many games. He's only played 8 minutes, so it's good to see him come back, getting games. But he needs time to bed into the team, and then bed into a winning team, probably a settled team, but which we are not at the moment. So no, I do feel, for instance, it's a mentality issue, and we need leadership on the on the pitch, for instance. Just giving Diaz 15 minutes especially yesterday, I think would have made all the difference, and I don't think they would have come back. So, but they did. It is what it is. I'm gutted, to say the least. I'm tired, to say the least. For instance, and yeah. So and now we've got to go to Liverpool. For instance, yeah, too many match ups. Anyway, so for instance, and it's gutting. I'm really gutted. So, but we've got to wait now, for instance, to see what happens. For instance, on Sunday, the players having a rest, I believe. So, I think they'll come back, and and then hopefully, for instance, see what we can do. For instance, but I think we just take it as a game at a time, and then see what we can get in put a performance on Liverpool. See if we can get a point or something. Who knows? Again, Liverpool are not invincible. Anfield is not invincible. I know we got a shocking record. I know you City fans and some City fans are not even watching the game, but I think, for instance, we've got to get behind the team. We've got to be. We can't. Again, I've seen too many. LB on his chats, and I saw it on Typical City. I saw it on John's channel. Too many people come out with too much garbage. Sell Guardiola, get rid of Pep, get rid of Lewis. The Gundo crap was going on about. Gundo, I thought he had his best game. I thought Lewis has had his best game. My stats for the team, out of 10, for instance, 6 being the average, for instance, I thought Eddie was a 5.5. He could have done better for the last goal. For instance, he came out, if you're going to come out, get the ball or get the player, and then risk the red card, and we'll bring on Ortega. But for instance, and I thought he was unfortunate first and second goal was scored, but yeah. So for instance, I give him a 5.5 with Eddie. Lewis, I gave him a 6. Again, for instance, people would put marking down low, but I thought, for instance, he's played near enough every game. He's played for England as well, and I thought he played well. For instance, and yeah, but he's a young lad. You can't, for instance, and even though he's made mistakes, to which I give him a 6, so I'll give him an average score. But I'm not actually saying, oh, blah, blah, blah. He needs criticism, but, for instance, he's not the reason why we lost drew yesterday. Aki, best defender, so I give him a 7 until he came off. Maybe he's not fully fit, but was going to put in a shift. Kanji, 5, made mistakes. Again, is he still nursing an injury? For instance, what's going on like Kanji? And Kanji and Guardiola, for instance, have always been our mainstays. They've been really good defenders. We can, how much we pay for a Kanji was ridiculous. So yeah, but I give a Kanji a 5. A Guardiola 4, and some people have put it down less than that, for instance. Yeah, he's just going through a bad patch at the moment. But if you play defence, like if you get away with midfield, etc., but in playing defence, certain players, certain positions where you play, and if you make a mistake, it could eventually a goal. And unfortunately, he plays in one of those positions. And normally he's been a fantastic, but I just give him a 4 because it wasn't too bad in the first half. So, for instance, so yeah, I can't crucify him over the 90, even though we was going to give two away, two bad passes, one to McAtee, which we shouldn't have done so. What's it called? But yeah, Bernardo, I'll give him a 5. Bernardo, he played okay, etc. For instance, again, was good, but he wasn't effectively okay. For instance, he did a few runs, a few crosses. His crossing ability needs to be better. But for instance, overall, I thought he was okay, but nothing a bit under par again. Foden, 5.5. Played okay, for instance, again, had a good shot. I like his turn and spin. Let's have a shot, but not overly convincing for me. For instance, I didn't feel that. For instance, I wasn't getting anything from him. For instance, like he was controlling. What's it called? Or he needs to step up. He needs to do more. He was player of the season last season. He was there for a reason, but he's way beyond par this season. He's not scoring the goal. Nunes, I gave him a 7. For instance, I like the goal with the crossover against for Haaland, which we needed. For instance, and that's the third goal. And I think overall play, for instance, he was pretty good. For instance, yeah, Jack 5. I thought, apart from his shot, I thought was quite ineffective. For instance, again, he needs to do more for me. For instance, either on the crossing, he doesn't seem to be. I don't see him too much in the games. I just need to impact games more and get goals. So I'll give him a 5, just below par. Ireland, I'll give him an 8. For instance, always trying hard to score these 2 goals. For instance, great penalty, great third goal, always involved. Looked frustrated because of and the team. So what's the goal? But yeah, but and Pep, I'll give him 5. What's it called? Yeah, I can understand why he changed it. I wonder why he brought him Simpson Puzzi and took off the players. I understand that, but he should have brought on Diaz, especially when they weren't the first goal. The first goal went in because you could see the defense was crumbling a little bit, and the heads were going down. I definitely thought Diaz was we should have come on sometime. Um, um, but I think it's now mentality and confidence, yeah, for instance, and we just got to take it one step at a time. Wait till January to see who we can get, for instance, and hopefully we can get more players back. But overall, I'm gutted, tired. For instance, yes, I'm a bit depressed, to tell the truth. I'm looking at a beautiful blue sky, 31 degrees or so. Feel like temperature 37. I go to bed early tonight. I think it's bed until after midnight. I was watching Four Weddings, a Funeral. Why am I watching that? It was just ridiculous. I've seen it 1,000 times. But I do like Andy McDowell, for instance, so I should look really, really nice at the time. Even though Hugh Grant used to drive me mad. But I was watching that until 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I was up at 2:45. So, I didn't get bed until 5:30. So then I was up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So yeah, so I do apologise. I'm sorry. Not the most beautiful guy in the person, but it's just anyway, guys. It's going to be a long road. It really is, for instance, and yeah, it's going to be tough, and we're going to get hammered by the media. We're going to get hammered by, for instance, that was an interesting stat. The yeah, just before I go, the stat I saw that stat of chances created compared to um, yeah, chances created, which was uh, big chance created by big chances based, and that was an interesting start. Got it here. For instance, I know, for instance, you had, for instance, in 2017, which was Pep's first, it was 101 chances, 101 big chances to 37, the difference was 64, and then he went to 193 when we won 100 points, and then 84, 82, 70, 81, 83. Last season, 64, and now today 37, 36 to 37. I know we're only so we've had more chances created against us than we actually creating. So we're in the minus for the first time. And they said a prediction for the season of 114 chances we will create on 117 against, so we'll have a -3. That's sky, and that's an interesting fact though. Let's go with the chances created, which is partly right, but I don't own, these are computers and blah blah blah. I'm not saying it was good. It's and again, I've seen it, done it, and bought the T-shirt with a lot of this nonsense. So, but it is an interesting fact, and teams are not scared of us anymore, and they're going to come out and have a go at us. And for instance, yeah, and the fixtures, we just have to take it one step at a time now. We've got to go to Turin now and win. We've got to go to France now and win, or otherwise we're playing the extra 2 games. So yeah, but it's not good at the moment. It really isn't. So for instance, and the team need DS. We need our defence. We need our players back, and we need to spend in January 110%. But for instance, again, the season's not over, and you never know what's called. And we got to be Susu, as they say in Thailand. We got to stay strong, and we just got to keep on battling. We've got Pep Guardiola, the best manager in the world, and for instance, and we'll get through it. And yeah, so for instance, and again, for instance, today, for instance, we were, in 3-0 up, was creating chances. We were, they were limited them to small chances. We were, yeah. So for instance, so was it a 3-3 game? No, as far as I'm concerned, it was just our mistakes what caused it a 3-3 game, and that's mentality and being a captain. So, for instance, and that's where I put it down to. And the moment we get our captains back, etc., the better. And but we need for Utai have his best game. So, for instance, and if he's not a 6, he's an 8 more than else. He shouldn't be where he is, but it is what it is. Anyway, like, subscribe, feel, agree with me, disagree with me. I know, for instance, again, these are young lads, younger people. For instance, I'm 60 years old. For instance, these guys are a lot younger. For instance, and they need to be guided and helped and assisted. And I know some people will disagree with me on that one, but for instance, and it's a team game, and we need the team to play. Once they go into step up, and but we're under the best manager with the best team, best run team in the Premier League by far, and yeah, and I'm sure we'll get it right. So we'll be set here in 6 months' time, etc. Hopefully, for instance, and put a smile on our face. So, but and saying, oh my God, I remember November. Do you remember the time in November? Like, oh, what's it called? But we'll get it right. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. 100%. Susu. And Liverpool game's not signed, set, and sealed, delivered. I'm sure we can get some out of Liverpool. Okay. Yeah. So come on, keep the faith. Charlie Delta, Charlie Tango, Whiskey Delta. City 2, we down. City. Okay. Love you and leave you. Shirley Cap from Thailand, and I'll speak to you again.